On the African Savannah, many hunts begin long before the predator appears. When safe ground shrinks a little more every day. When the distances that once kept species apart disappear rapidly. Every pair of eyes turns toward the same target. Three months without a single drop of rain. The last pools of water are quietly shrinking. The earth has cracked into long stretching patches, the grasslands scorched dry under the sun. Around the water's edge, countless overlapping footprints, some fresh, some old, all lead to exactly one place, the only place where life still has something to hold on to. A zebra bows its head to drink, ears still angled backward in unease. A few steps away, an impala bolts in alarm at nothing more than its own shadow. The entire group drinks in a state of anxious fear, one drinking quickly, then yielding to the next, none daring to linger a moment longer than necessary beside the water. At midday, a buffalo herd moves in, dunking their heads and drinking greedily in deep mouthfuls. Dozens of individuals weighing nearly a ton, each pressed together like a black wall. Behind a sandy rise, a lioness presses flat to the ground, patiently tracking the herd, eyes settling on one individual drifting to the edge. In the midday heat, she has enough strength for only one lunge. The buffalo at the edge suddenly raises its head, muzzle lifted to scent the air, some instinct warning of something wrong. But the wind carries the predator's scent in another direction. Reassured, it lowers its head and drinks again. The grass erupts. The lioness launches out, four legs tearing through the scorched grass beneath her body. 30 meters vanish in almost an instant. The buffalo at the edge has barely lifted its head when the strike arrives. Both crash down to the water's edge, mud and water spraying up as the jaws lock tight around the throat. The buffalo surges violently upward. A body weighing nearly a ton swings from side to side again and again, dragging both hunter and prey, carving deep furrows through the soft mud. A bellow carries across the air. Dozens of heads rise at once, but this time, the buffalo herd does not run. Instead, everyone turns to face the same direction. The massive bodies surge forward together, horns lowered, driving straight toward the one holding their herd member down. The first impact strikes the flank, sending the lioness lurching sideways. Under the pressure of the entire herd, she is forced to release the prey and retreat quickly. But it is already too late. Throughout the minutes of having its throat held locked, the buffalo has long since stopped breathing. It tries to raise its head once, manages one effort, then falls completely still. The herd surrounds their fallen companion, pushing their muzzles against the unresponsive body. Then one by one, each slowly moves away, leaving the carcass at the water's edge. The lioness waits for the herd to disappear entirely, then returns to the carcass. Also, in that dry season, as prey grows increasingly scarce, another hunter is forced to take greater risks than ever before. Across the arid land, a herd of impala follows a trail in single file searching for grass. In a patch of brush, a spotted body lies pressed to the ground, so still that not a single blade of grass moves. Then the smallest impala stops beside a patch of young grass at the trail's edge. Just a few bites, and its steps have already fallen behind the herd by a distance. The brush explodes. The spotted body launches like a spring, crossing the ground in just a few strides, then crashes into the prey. The herd turns back just as the pinning blow has already landed. The impala herd scatters in a thunder of hooves, but in the middle of that panic, one mother turns back, driving straight toward the spot where her calf is pinned beneath the claws. Far smaller than the leopard, she still drives herself in recklessly, ramming forward, then dodging away, trying to pull the enemy off her young. But those jaws do not loosen for a single second. Knowing it cannot hold the prey on the ground for long, the leopard clamps its kill and climbs quickly into the nearest acacia fork. Only at height is the meal safe from lions and hyenas. Below the trunk, the mother stands looking up for a long time. Her calf is draped across a high branch, beyond the reach of any jump she could make. Out in the scorched grassland, the leopard's ambush has already faded into the past. At the water's edge, the buffalo carcass still lies there, and the scent of blood on the wind carries further with every moment. The first shapes appear on the horizon. Before long, more than a dozen hyenas are shuffling in, eyes fixed on the mass of flesh lying at the water's edge. Mid-feed, the lioness suddenly stops, ears flattening, lips pulling back to bare her teeth. She stands alone beside her prize while the rest of her pride is far away. The hyenas do not rush in. They spread wide into a crescent, slowly closing the encirclement. Hoarse laughing calls rising from multiple directions around the mudflat. One suddenly wrenches hard at the meat from behind. Almost simultaneously, a few other shapes press in from the flank. The lioness spins sharply, striking back repeatedly. She brings down one that is too bold, but the moment her claws pull back, other jaws have already found her flank before it has time to heal. The lioness pulls back, roaring hard. Ahead, the spotted backs still slowly tighten the circle. Not one of them is strong enough to bring her down, but the whole clan together is enough to make her yield ground. The instant she abandons the carcass, the entire clan surges over it. The crack of shattering bone mixes with the sounds of snarling competition, carrying far across the plain. And elsewhere, the drought itself has pushed thousands of hooves down toward the river, cutting across the migration route. "20 kilometers to the south, the Mara River coils through the valley floor. Beneath the murky water, a massive shape lies motionless, blending into the silt. On the bank, thousands of zebras pack the steep slope. On the other side is the green grassland they dream of. But between them and that land is a current hiding dangers at every depth. Mixed into the sea of black and white stripes, a pregnant mare is pushed to the very edge. Belly heavy, legs trembling, she tries to pull back in fear, but behind her, the entire herd keeps pressing urgently forward. Then the bank breaks open. The one in front slips and falls, pulling hundreds more cascading after it. The whole stretch of river boils with churning, striped bodies and terrified cries. That is exactly what was waited for. The enormous tail at the river bottom drives one beat, launching the jaws upward, clamping onto a horse's lower leg and dragging it straight down. Almost simultaneously, the surface explodes a few meters away. Then another snap rings out downstream. It becomes clear that beneath the murky water, there was never only one waiting. The mare drives into the middle of the chaos. Her heavy body pulls her down, falling to the back of the herd, and after only a few kicks, she is alone in the deepest section of the river. A wake of parting water drives toward her. The jaws open wide at her side. She twists aside. The jaws snap onto empty water, grazing the belly where new life is growing. Before she can recover, the crocodile circles back, biting from behind and locking onto one leg. The mare bellows out, thrashing desperately, the water around her frothing red. In desperation, she drives every last ounce of her body into one final kick. The hoof lands directly into the attacker's eye. The crocodile flinches, the jaws loosen slightly, and the leg just manages to pull free. The herd has already moved away toward the southern grassland. She stands at the bank for a few more beats, water running in streams from her soaked coat, then quietly follows the trail of the herd. Late afternoon settles over the savannah. The last shadows stretch long across the scorched grass, and the ground still carries all the marks of a day full of upheaval. Then the wind shifts direction. Black clouds pull in from the horizon, and thousands of muzzles across the grassland all detect the same scent that has been absent for many months, the smell of damp earth. The first raindrop touches the cracked ground. The harshest dry season has quietly drawn to a close, and on the savannah, a new cycle of life begins again. It is dawn on an African riverbank. The water has not yet turned blue. A thin layer of mist clings low to the surface, refusing to disappear. Everything is waiting for the day to begin. A gray heron stands motionless on a rock near the shore, not hunting, not moving, just standing there, as if it understands that mornings here demand silence. Nearby, an antelope drinks, small sips, head down, then up again, scanning its surroundings in a rhythm repeated thousands of times before. This is a place every animal must come to, and every one of them must pay some kind of price for a drink. That price is never announced in advance. Lions, the dominant predators of the African savannah. Strength, speed, coordinated hunting. On land, few animals can confront them directly and come out on top. This pride has several cubs under 3 months old. At this age, their brains are still in the phase of exploration, even toward things their instincts have not yet learned to name. The lioness stops about 5 meters from the water's edge. She looks left, then right, then along the surface. It is a habit, but not a complete safety check. Beneath the water, another sensory system is already at work. Along the crocodile's jaws and body are thousands of pressure receptors. It knew the lions were coming before it ever saw them. The Nile crocodile, a reptile that existed long before the dinosaurs disappeared. And it still hunts this way because it has never needed to change. A crocodile does not hunt in the usual sense. It does not chase. It does not surround. It does not need a complicated plan. It simply waits until the target brings itself within reach. The lioness scans the area one more time. The surface is calm, no unusual sound. She allows the pride to approach and drink. It is the most reasonable decision she can make with the information she has. And that is exactly the problem. This is a problem with no perfect answer. The pride needs water to survive the day. That need cannot be postponed. But every trip to the riverbank means accepting a risk that can never be fully controlled. The smallest cub drifts away. It moves closer to the water's edge than the others. The distance from its mother grows, 10 meters, 12, 15. No one notices. The lioness is splitting her attention between the others and her own need to drink. One animal cannot monitor 4 directions with equal precision at the same time. The bend in the river and the sudden drop near the bank erase the usual warning signs. Lions have no way of reading the underwater terrain, so their ability to judge danger is limited. The early morning light gives the crocodile an even greater ambush advantage. And when several disadvantages stack together, the cub's chances of becoming prey rise sharply. The cub edges closer, crossing into the danger zone. Beneath the surface, the crocodile adjusts its posture without creating a ripple. This is the moment when two worlds are separated by only a thin layer of water. On one side, curiosity and exploration. On the other, a waiting strategy refined over millions of years. The attack comes without warning. The crocodile's jaws clamp shut in less than half a second, with enough force to lock onto the cub's forelimb instantly. The lioness reacts at once, covering roughly 15 meters in under 2 seconds, her roar tearing across the riverbank. But by then, the cub is already being dragged into the water. The crocodile does not need to kill on land. It only needs to pull the prey into the water. Once there, every advantage shifts completely, and the lioness knows that. She charges in up to her shoulders, slamming at the surface. But there is nothing there, only water. And beneath it, her cub is being pulled in a direction she cannot follow. She stops. No more roaring. She simply stands there, shoulder deep in a river that is not hers, staring into the surface with helpless eyes. Below, the crocodile has not yet dragged the cub into safe depth. The cub is still struggling, not from conscious decision, but from the body's raw mechanical reflex against the pull. The lioness manages to bite the crocodile's tail, the only part still within reach. The bite is not enough to injure it, but enough to throw it off for a second. The crocodile responds with a death roll, spinning violently. The lioness is forced to let go, but the twisting changes the angle of the bite, and in that brief instant, the cub slips free. The lioness drags the cub back onto the bank. She does not stop. She does not look back. She retreats farther and farther from the edge until her paws are fully on dry ground. The riverbank is where two worlds touch. The crocodile does not pursue. On land, the game has changed. It knows its limits, just as the lions know theirs. The cub is breathing hard. The lioness begins licking the wound slowly, over and over again. Beneath the surface, the crocodile has already returned to its old position. Motionless, almost invisible. Nothing about it suggests failure. To a crocodile, waiting is never wasted. The entire attack lasted less than 15 seconds. But that was more than enough to leave a mark. Not in words, but in sensation, in instinct, in reflex. In the days that follow, the pride still has to return to the river, but not at dawn, and not so close to the edge. This is how knowledge passes through generations in the wild. Not through teaching, but through pain severe enough for the body to remember longer than any lesson ever could. The mistake that morning did not belong to the cub. It did not have enough information to understand what it was doing wrong. The mistake belonged to the moment of judgment, to 4 stacked disadvantages. A Nile crocodile can go a very long time without food. Waiting is not a choice for it. It is survival. Every time the lions return to the riverbank, to the crocodile, it is simply another opportunity. Lion cubs in the wild rarely survive their first year. Every injury lowers those odds. This cub may recover if infection does not set in. When drought lasts too long, species are forced to gather around the few water sources that remain. The distance between predator and prey shrinks, and encounters like this one become far more common. The striking thing is, neither side is wrong. The crocodile is only doing what it has always done. The lioness is too. In nature, there is no right or wrong, only outcomes. These two species have coexisted along Africa's rivers for millions of years, not because of peace, but because both sides understand the boundary. The lioness does not know exactly where she went wrong. She only knows what happened. And in this world, the result is the only lesson that lasts. The injured cub carries a lesson today that cannot be taught in safety. It may not understand it yet, but its body already remembers. And in the wild, that is enough. Mistake becomes data. Danger becomes knowledge. And that knowledge, if the cub survives long enough to use it, may become a lifelong survival advantage. The burden is not strength. It is responsibility. The lioness does not live only for herself. Every choice she makes affects her young. Survival is not about always winning. It is a chain of choices, mostly right, sometimes wrong. And one mistake at the wrong moment can change everything. The riverbank does not change after the pride leaves. The crocodile is still there. The water is flat again. Everything returns to normal, as if nothing ever happened. Tomorrow, the lions will come back, but not quite the same as today. The lioness will stand farther away, choose a different moment, keep the cubs closer, not because she has planned it, but because she remembers in her own way. And when dusk falls, The river will keep flowing as it always does. It holds no memory. Only the creatures who live beside it must remember, if they want to survive. End of dry season on African Savannah, ground cracked long like old wounds. Grass withered crisp underfoot, while air thickened silence. Each species here has a role, and that role isn't fixed. Today's predator can become tomorrow's prey, if it makes one wrong choice. In this harsh environment, no action is meaningless. And sometimes, a successful hunt is precisely the starting point for an unavoidable failure. Africa doesn't favor the strongest, but chooses those who adapt more effectively. And today, the law will be demonstrated through a small species. Honey badger, small, fierce mammal famous for courage, recognized by Guinness as most fearless animal, ready to confront opponents many times larger. Honey badger skin thick and very tough, enough to reduce effectiveness of strong bites. Loose skin also helps it twist to counterattack right when restrained. Honey badger's front claws long, curved and extremely strong, suitable for digging burrows, breaking beehives or foraging underground, and when needed, it tears through anything blocking path. Mongooses significantly smaller than honey badger, but they rarely act alone. This species' true strength lies in ability to coordinate in packs. In a mongoose pack, usually at least one individual performs sentry duty. It observes from high position and signals when danger approaches. Despite having certain resistance to snake venom, their greatest advantage lies in behavior. Group coordination with astonishing speed and precision. This morning, entire pack moving toward nearest water source, a familiar route repeated daily and already silently tracked by honey badger. Honey badger doesn't lack food, but this opportunity rarely appears. When pack begins dispersing to forage, young individuals remain, creating dangerous gap. In nature, distance sometimes determines survival, not just between two bodies, but between an individual and pack's protection, and honey badger knows this. Balance in nature rarely collapses through chaos. It usually starts from very small deviation, then spreads faster than any reflex. Honey badger charges straight at target, no circling or probing. That's the hunting method of animal relying on endurance, boldness, and closing speed. Small mongoose pack reacts almost immediately, but still slower than decisive moment. Warning call rings out, but pack still outside support range. Honey badger bites and holds prey's neck or nape, an effective restraint method helping it quickly end attack before opponent can escape. Honey badger doesn't leave immediately, but begins eating on spot. A common choice for confident predators when not sensing clear threat. Not far away, mongoose pack has heard alarm signal. They stop almost simultaneously, then quickly turn toward direction emitting sound. This isn't random reaction. but social behavior reinforced through natural selection. When one individual signals, entire pack immediately coordinates. Honey badger quickly recognizes pack approaching, but it doesn't retreat. Instead, it turns to face, raises fur, and grips food tightly. Mongoose pack approaches at safe distance, not rushing in immediately. They observe, maintain formation, and assess opponent before choosing intervention moment. When honey badger turns back to prey position, two mongooses from behind have closed in. They attack tail and flanks, areas honey badger cannot defend. This is attrition attack type. No single individual strong enough to bring down honey badger alone, but entire pack can force it to continuously expend energy. Honey badger counterattacks fiercely and strong enough to bring down several individuals in short time. But mongoose pack doesn't retreat, nor let formation fall into chaos. This is when numerical advantage begins showing effectiveness. Each eliminated individual almost immediately replaced, while honey badger must bear all pressure alone. Honey badger turns back to prey and continues eating. This is biggest mistake it will make today. While head bowed down, three mongooses attack simultaneously from three directions. Situation changes, not from single strike, but because honey badger, for first time, loses control of fighting space around its own body. Honey badger still hasn't left prey, partly from resource-keeping instinct, partly because it never had to abandon anything before. Today is first time. Mongoose pack doesn't rush in chaotically. They attack in short waves, then withdraw, maintaining pressure without depleting own energy. Through each collision, honey badger's reaction speed begins decreasing very slightly. What naked eye hardly notices is clear enough for entire pack to adjust closing distance. Honey badger begins moving to find more favorable opening, trying to regain initiative. But each gap just appearing is quickly filled by entire pack. Confrontation now no longer revolves around prey carcass. Entire mongoose pack has shifted target from protective reaction to applying pressure until honey badger exhausts. Mongoose pack not panicking, they continue following exact rhythm maintained from battle start. Patience is final and most effective weapon in this species' arsenal. Honey badger still bites several more individuals, but force and accuracy markedly decrease. Wounded ones retreat, while remainder continue applying pressure. This is battle about time, not strength. And in this battle, numbers always beat single individual, however exceptional that individual. Honey badger lowers body longer than normal beat. A declining sign mongoose pack immediately recognizes and exploits without delay. They don't need clear finishing blow. Just maintain pressure long enough, remainder decided by opponent's physiological limits. When honey badger falls again, it still manages to rise. But posture has lost stability, showing body beginning to decline movement controllability. Mongoose pack gives honey badger no rest. Each time it struggles up, entire pack immediately tightens pressure before opponent regains balance. Honey badger still bites back, still growls, and still won't retreat. But now, body can no longer keep up with its fighting will. This isn't simply failure of stubborn individual, but proof of survival law. Collective endurance can wear down even exceptional opponent. After ensuring threat has ended, Mongoose pack quickly disperses and continues moving toward water source as original route. Honey badger lies motionless long while before beginning to move again. It's not dead, but clearly exhausted and completely lost situation control. Prey carcass still remains in place, but honey badger doesn't return, remaining energy not enough to exchange for what already cost it too much. Nature doesn't judge. No good or bad guys in this story. Only choices and consequences. Honey badger chose to attack pack and failed. But story doesn't stop there. One more severely wounded mongoose individual falling behind, and mourning order seems beginning to reverse. Honey badger recognizes opportunity, stops observing. Though body still hurts and exhausted, hunting instinct hasn't disappeared, only temporarily suppressed. And in those few seconds, honey badger looks at pack, then looks at wounded mongoose. First time today, it steps back without anyone attacking it. Honey badger turns away slowly, not fleeing but also not continuing pursuit. First time that morning, it actively refuses an opportunity. In nature, individual strength always has limits, while collective strength can far exceed individual capabilities when organized effectively. Tomorrow, honey badger will continue hunting while mongoose pack still goes toward water source. Nature continues, not remembering and not judging. But what remains after this morning isn't moment honey badger fell, but when entire pack turned back just from brief signal from wounded individual. Nature answers the question, what's stronger, individual or collective strength? It only presents real situations with unpredictable outcomes. Afternoon sun pours into the Luangwa River Gorge, murky yellow light illuminating vertical rock faces covered in damp moss where space is suspiciously silent. A few kingfishers dive to the water surface, then dart up, only wing beats echoing in the gorge's quietness. Everything else seemingly motionless. On the cliff edge, a lion pride stands close together, heads bowed observing, eyes not on the water, but focused on the individual in danger. Below, among smooth rocks near the water's edge, a lioness struggles to climb up, claws gripping the surface, but continuously slipping, getting closer to dangerous waters. Lions are large cats dominating many of Africa's dry ecosystems. With male lions weighing up to 180 kilograms, they top the food chain wherever they reach. But all those advantages are designed for flat terrain. On steep, slippery rock surfaces, features once advantageous become disadvantages. The lioness weighs about 130 kilograms, pulling her own body up the sloped face. Gravity quickly overwhelms pulling force, making efforts extremely exhausting. She fell while pursuing prey over the cliff edge, a small miscalculation leading to a long slide, placing her in a life-threatening situation. On the bank, the lion pride still observes. A low roar rings out, but no individual descends, because they know this rock face is a one-way trap. Below, the female tries to grip again. Front legs find footing, but the surface is unstable, pushing force insufficient to hold the body, and she slides down again. Distance to water surface continues closing. Current position not only disadvantageous in terrain, but also conceals another danger. A small ripple spreads from downstream, not from wind, not from current, but a sign of a creature slowly approaching. The lioness recognizes immediately. Eyes lock onto two black points floating on water surface. Alarm, instinct activates. Sounds emitted carry obvious tension. Two black points motionless like rotten logs gradually surfacing, but hidden below is a 4-meter body. The real danger has appeared. And it didn't come alone. Ripples appear from different directions, all heading toward the same point, the cliff base where the lion clings. To understand the danger below, one must know that the creature patiently waiting has existed millions of years, with body structure evolved optimally for hunting. Nile crocodiles reach 5 meters long and weigh over 700 kilograms, and possess bite force among the strongest of animals still existing on Earth. Their tactics rely on ambush, lying motionless for hours, then attacking extremely fast, optimizing energy and ensuring high success probability. After locking jaws, crocodiles drag prey underwater and perform the death roll, inflicting serious damage, and prey quickly loses resistance capability. They can fast for months. Each meal is a long-term investment, so when there's opportunity, they'll thoroughly consume prey. On the rock face, the lioness understands the situation clearly. Above is an unclimbable slope. Below is enemy territory. Now she's trapped between two threats. She moves horizontally along the narrow rock strip, seeking climbable points, each step carefully gripping wet rocks, eyes not leaving water surface. Each step is hope, but also risk. Below, the crocodile pod maintains stable distance, moving parallel. They're not rushing to approach, only maintaining position and waiting for more favorable conditions. The lion discovers a lower section of cliff, but must cross a 2-meter wide shallow water stretch, a short distance, but full of risk. She suddenly lunges the mound, racing quickly across the water. And in the same moment, a crocodile surges up. Jaws snap shut right where she just been left, only one beat late. The lion grips rocks on the other side, struggling to pull herself up. The crocodile watches from behind underwater. This time escaped, but terrain on this side still slippery and steep, no easier at all. She continues climbing short sections, then sliding down again. Each time losing momentum, position gets closer to water surface, and safe distance gradually closes. The third slip makes hind legs touch water. The lion flinches, jumping back up, but too late. A crocodile lunges, jaws reaching for hind legs. The lion roars, concentrates force on front legs as anchor points. Shoulder muscles tense, resisting overwhelming pulling force from water surface. The struggle increasingly intense. The crocodile bites and slips. The lion escapes. The lion springs onto the rock strip, breathing heavily, while the crocodile sinks, carrying anger. The lion gradually tires and cannot stay in one place long. For crocodiles, that's a signal. They adjust positions, tighten encirclement, distance only, meters remaining. The lioness has no choice left. Cannot climb up, cannot stay. Survival space shrinks by the minute. She moves faster, abandoning fear. Each step, each short leap utilizing every remaining foothold on the slippery rock strip. The crocodiles no longer wait. They simultaneously surge up when the lion crosses the narrow water section, jaws snapping shut consecutively in splashing water. The lion reaches the final rock outcrop. Ahead is the only gentle bank, but separated by a deep water section, while predators have closed in from behind. She looks at the shore, looks at the water surface, then looks at three shadows closing in and jumps down. Four legs touch water. The lion begins swimming as fast as possible toward shore. Distance, gradually from shore, legs still touching bottom. But behind, crocodiles are accelerating. The largest submerges, disappears. This is the most dangerous moment. The lion nearly reaches shore. Front legs grip earth, pulling body up, but injured hind leg lacks strength, making her slide down, and that's all the crocodile needs. From behind, a crocodile surges up and locks jaws onto the rear section. Massive pulling force jerks the lion back into the water. The second crocodile immediately lunges in, clamping tight on front shoulder. Two pulling forces from two directions make the lion sink half submerged. Only head and one front leg protruding. The death roll begins. Lion's body dragged completely under. Water surface churns violently, then gradually settles, returning to initial calm. Water surface returns to stillness. No more sounds or movement, only a few small ripples fading on the surface. The grassland ruler has sunk from here. Above, the lion pride stands silent. Calling sounds echo down, no response. Only wind blowing through the gorge echoes back. After several tries, they fall silent. After a few minutes, one by one, leaves the cliff edge. They leave without looking back. On the plains, prolonging loss is also putting oneself at risk. Below the Luangwa River, crocodiles drag prey to the deep bottom, holding it for natural decomposition process before beginning the meal. Nile crocodiles can fast for months, and today's meal is a 130-kilogram lioness, enough to feed them for many weeks. The confrontation closes according to environmental law. When entering water, advantage belongs to water-adapted creatures. On that territory, all land advantages lose value. The lion pride loses a member. Movement rhythm and behavior will change in following days, reflecting adjustment to risk. Dusk arrives. Landscape returns to familiar state, leaving almost no clear traces of the event just occurred. The lion pride stops to rest in tall grass area, far from the river. They lie closer together, the gap of one individual becoming obvious in the silent formation. Each encounter leaves marks in blood. Later decisions will change through reflexes formed from experience. Below the river, crocodiles continue moving slowly. Eyes, nose protruding, then sinking back. The observation cycle and endless patience count again from the start. In the Luangwa ecosystem, lions and crocodiles share the food chain apex, each species dominating half the world. When boundaries are erased, advantage belongs to the side adapting better to conditions at that moment. Each rainy season, water rises. Dry season, water recedes. Boundaries continuously change. Encounters repeat. No permanent winner, only temporary adaptation. Today's lioness didn't fail from lack of strength. On land, she's the ruler. But when conditions change, mass and body structure itself become disadvantages. Conversely, crocodiles don't need to be faster or stronger in all circumstances. They only need the right environment, where their advantages are maximized. Sun sets over Luangwa. On shore, lions rest in tall grass. Below water, crocodiles hide. Two parallel worlds, meters apart, but deciding survival. Tomorrow morning, though one individual fewer, the lion pride's rhythm doesn't stop. They'll avoid the riverbank, continue hunting on grasslands, and remember dangerous boundaries. Night wind blows through the gorge, carrying scents of mud and damp grass. Traces on rocks gradually disappear. Bank edge returns as before. Nature erases what once occurred. Under moonlight, crocodiles hide in flat water. In a world where mistakes mean endings, silence sometimes is the sign of danger itself. Early morning on the African Savannah. The air isn't hot yet, but right beneath the ground, life began moving long ago. This is not the land of the strongest, but of the most dangerous. And that boundary is sometimes only a few millimeters long, the length of a fang. Every morning here begins with silent calculations. Who eats whom, who avoids whom, and who carries a weapon that the enemy never sees. Africa has hundreds of venomous species. Many are smaller than a hand, but size doesn't matter. Venom only needs enough time to take effect. This is a biological weapon refined by nature over millions of years. Not for indiscriminate attacks, but to terminate a target with ultimate precision. In nature, two main mechanisms exist. One type attacks the nervous system, fast and silent. The other destroys tissue and blood, slower but harder to stop. The first group is neurotoxins. They don't need strength, just a single touch. And from that moment, time begins to work against the victim. The black mamba is the most typical representative of this group. Up to 4.5 meters long, ground movement speed can reach 20 kilometers per hour. No species escapes faster than it. When threatened, the black mamba raises its forebody, revealing an inky black mouth. It's not a display, but a final warning before attacking. The cobra chooses a different way. It spits venom into the eyes from a distance, causing almost instant blindness. No need to approach, giving the opponent no chance to react. The other group uses hemotoxin. Death does not come immediately, but lingers over time as the body is gradually destroyed from within. The bush viper is the most common hemotoxin carrier in Africa. Though it lacks speed and range, in the savannah, no one sees it before it's too late. The afternoon here changes in ways that are hard to notice. The temperature drops, shadows begin to lengthen, and on a small rock near the forest edge, something is waiting. A field mouse is moving close to the grass, completely normal behavior, foraging, observing, pausing. But nearby, a pair of eyes is watching. Venom doesn't require the host to be large. It requires patience. And on this savanna, patience is something that has been honed over a vast amount of time. To understand what is about to happen, one must know what that moving creature can cause. And the answer, in truth, is terrifyingly simple. The emperor scorpion looks big and heavy, but it isn't the most dangerous. The scarier species are often smaller, yellow, and nearly vanish into the sand. The Deathstalker scorpion is much smaller, but its venom is extremely potent, acting simultaneously on the victim's heart and central nervous system. In the twilight, it stands perfectly still. No threat, no attack. Just existing, with its curved tail behind it already dangerous enough. The bush viper is not as fast as the mamba, but it hides perfectly. No sound, no movement, and when it strikes, everything ends in less than 0.25 seconds. The viper's jaw has a special folding mechanism. When attacking, the fangs spring out like hypodermic needles, piercing deep into the tissue and pumping venom directly into the body. Hemotoxin destroys red blood cells and the ability for blood to clot. Victims do not die from the wound. They die because the blood no longer has the ability to clot. The mouse stands still, unaware that it has fallen into the crosshairs. The snake doesn't need to see or hear. It only needs to sense the heat from the prey's body. No need to see or hear, just a temperature difference. Anything warmer than the environment becomes a target. Because of this, the viper causes the most deaths each year. The distance is less than 30 centimeters. The mouse stops, then takes another step, and the snake remains motionless, waiting for the exact moment to strike. In less than half a second, the fangs spring out, embedding deep and pumping venom into the prey's body. Everything happens so fast, it is almost impossible to perceive. The mouse recoils. Pain reflexes triggered, but the venom is already in the blood. From that moment, the internal destruction process begins. The viper does not give chase. Within 10 to 20 minutes, the prey will begin to lose orientation. The snake only needs to follow the remaining heat trail. Elsewhere, a small spider also carries its own venom, enough to destroy tissue from within in a slower but no less dangerous way. A brown spider bite is almost painless at first. The victim often doesn't realize it until the skin area begins to necrose hours later. Neurotoxins strike the body's control system quickly. Hemotoxins destroy from within, slower but more prolonged and harder to control. Afternoon has arrived. The viper still lies still, not moving, but its body still silently monitors every change around it. The mouse begins to move more slowly. Hemotoxin has begun to take effect. The body is losing coordination. This is the final sign the predator is waiting for. The viper begins to move, not rushing, each step precise along the heat trail. This is the process of retrieving what already belonged to it after the previous attack. The viper is not the strongest nor the fastest, but hemotoxin allows it to take down prey larger than its body without needing a direct confrontation. After all, the savannah is silent again. Not a peace, but a balance re-established after every encounter. The viper returns to its familiar spot. It will rest for many days to digest, but the venom has already begun to regenerate, starting now. Not far away, a black mamba glides across the high ground. On the same savanna, many venom mechanisms coexist without the species being aware of each other. The mamba does not actively attack, but when cornered, it can bite repeatedly, each time dangerous enough to take down large prey. Its venom attacks the nervous system, causing the body to gradually shut down. The victim remains conscious, but loses the ability to breathe in silence. The cobra chooses another way. Its venom combines neurotoxins and tissue destruction, and it can spit from a distance without touching the opponent. In the twilight, it faces a meerkat. Both stand still. The distance remains the same, but the advantage is leaning toward the snake. In the world of venom, danger does not always lie with the largest. The small, hard-to-see species often pose the greatest risk. The yellow-tailed scorpion is very small, but carries potent neurotoxins. Just one sting is enough to be dangerous if not treated in time. This third killer, it doesn't hunt with speed or ambush. The scorpion exists by becoming invisible, and in the darkness, invisibility is the perfect tactic. At the same time, the black mamba begins to move. This is the time it operates most effectively on the savanna. Nearby, a mongoose appears. It has a partial resistance to venom, but it is not immune. Every mistake still carries a price. The black mamba detects the mongoose and stops. It raises its head to observe, not hiding. This is a calculating posture, only deciding to attack when the moment is clear. The mongoose also circles the snake. Both sides look at each other for a few seconds, enough to understand the opponent. It has venom resistance, but that doesn't make the mamba back down. The mamba strikes. Quick, clean, only the head and neck lunging forward. The bite is precise, venom entering the blood almost instantly. There is no chance for correction. The mongoose runs around, its body reacting immediately to the venom. But the mamba does not chase. It stands still, watching. To it, one precise strike is enough. The mamba turns its head, disappearing into the darkness. No rush. Behind it, the mongoose has recovered. Its body fought off a dose of venom that wasn't enough to kill. The savanna returns to its familiar rhythm. There are no absolute winners, only species that continue to exist in the way that suits them best. The viper is still coiled there. The scorpion moves on the ground nearby. The mamba has disappeared. 3 species, 3 ways of existing, and no species needs to be the largest. Looking at the viper in the night, no aggression is seen, only absolute patience. And sometimes it is the waiting itself that is most dangerous. Venom is not a weapon of destruction. It is a tool of balance. Each species controls another, creating a system where everything is closely linked. Every year there are thousands of deaths due to snakes, but they themselves also prevent many pathogens from spreading. In nature, nothing is simple. The African night is not truly silent. It is only quieter to human senses. Under rocks, in the grass, under the sand, everything is still operating. There are no names for what takes place. No good, no evil. Just a system of existence older than any language that ever appeared. And the question is not which species is the most dangerous, but what would happen if one link in this system disappeared? Dawn over Africa, first light touches the river surface. Thin mist rises from the still water, covering the sandy bank like an ethereal veil. Along the riverbank, footprints in wet sand tell last night's story. Some came to drink and left. Some species disappeared, never to return. In the distance, a baboon troop approaches the riverbank, then stops on high ground, observing the water below, displaying vigilance mechanisms selected through evolutionary process. This river is both life source and boundary between life and death. For small creatures like the baboon troop, each approach is a survival decision. Baboons are among Africa's most intelligent and fierce primates. Gray-brown fur, elongated face, and good eyesight help maintain high vigilance. Their jaws are fearsome weapons. Canines can reach 8 centimeters long, bite force from 500 to 700 pounds per square inch, enough to tear enemy flesh in an instant. They live in troops from several dozen to over 100 individuals, with clear hierarchical social structure helping maintain order and reduce conflict within the group. Baboons are omnivores, consuming from plants to small animals. Flexible diet helps them adapt effectively to harsh conditions of prolonged dry season. Their notable feature is a sophisticated warning system. Different sounds correspond to each threat, from birds of prey above to predators in bushes. But with dangers underwater, warning signals become limited when forced to cross rivers. Survival pressure forces the troop to choose despite existing risks. The troop leader advances, observing the river surface. In the next few seconds, its choice will directly affect the entire troop's safety. Behind, the entire troop waits silently in tension. Mother baboons clutch their young tightly, as delaying too long can also increase attack risk. The water surface is still, flat, and suspiciously calm. In African river ecosystems, silence often conceals lurking potential dangers. A dark shadow over 4 meters long lies motionless beneath murky water. Only eyes and nose protrude, camouflaged effectively like drifting rotten logs. Nile crocodiles are top ambush predators, with morphology virtually unchanged for millions of years. Their pupils are extremely sensitive to movement. Third eyelid supports underwater observation, helping detect prey precisely within hunting range. Nile crocodile bite force exceeds 3,000 pounds per square inch, enough to crush prey bones. Once jaws have closed, almost no force can make them open. As ambush predators, they can lie motionless for extended periods to conserve energy and only attack when opportunity reaches optimal level. The tactic is very simple but extremely effective. Wait for prey to approach, attack in less than 1 second, and drag underwater to drown. Baboons are well aware of danger, while crocodiles are ready to ambush. The encounter between vigilance and silent strength begins right at this river bend. Finally, the troop leader decides to descend into water, each step cautious. The entire troop immediately follows, maintaining tight formation in this life or death choice. Adult males go first, water rising to their bellies. Behind, females hold young tightly, maintaining high vigilance against sudden attack risk. When the troop reaches midstream, water level rises to adult chests. Young cling tightly to mothers to avoid being swept away. Tension reaches peak. Suddenly, the water surface behind erupts. A crocodile charges with terrifying speed. The baboon troop panics, signals warnings. Formation immediately shatters. Individuals in front rush quickly toward opposite bank, while the rear group turns back. Dispersal breaks troop cohesion, making hunting risk increase. In nature, living in groups helps distribute risk. When separated, solitary individuals quickly become the clearest targets in dangerous environments. The crocodile locks target, not chasing the troop, but focusing on separated individual. This is common hunting tactic, prioritizing weak or slow-moving ones. Crocodile jaws close just centimeters from the baboon. Water splashes high. This individual escapes narrowly, rushing ashore at maximum speed thanks to survival reflexes. On both banks, baboons stand panting. The troop is divided by the deadly water. The first river crossing ends with luck, but not everyone made it to the other side. On the old bank, a mother baboon with young is trapped. She looks across to the other side, where most of the troop has safely gathered. Below the water surface, the crocodile has submerged, restoring initial calm. However, that silence is only concealing danger still lurking below. The mother baboon understands she cannot wait long. Lack of food and troop separation diminishes social standing. She must decide quickly to ensure survival chance. On the other side, the troop cannot wait, begins moving into areas with food. Distance gradually increases, forcing the mother baboon under pressure to act urgently. She descends into water. The young clings tightly to mother's back. Cold water gradually submerges the body. Each step is gambling with fate. Having advanced some distance, she steps slowly. The water surface ahead ripples lightly, then falls silent. Mother baboon is vigilant, eyes scanning along the current. From the right side, the crocodile suddenly lunges up without warning signs. At a speed impossible to react to, its jaws aim straight for the young on her back. Teeth sink deep into the young's leg. A piercing cry rings out. Mother baboon grabs her offspring, pulls back, creating a life and death tug-of-war in the water. On the bank, the baboon troop scatters. Warning cries ring out continuously, but no one dares enter the water, can only observe from safe distance. Mother baboon resists by instinct, continuously biting, clawing, and jerking. However, her bite force is significantly weaker than the crocodile's, making advantage tilt toward the predator. As the struggle drifts toward shore, the crocodile gradually loses advantage in shallow water. Seizing the rare opportunity, mother baboon musters strength for one final jerk. The young escapes the crocodile's jaws, but in an instant, the crocodile switches targets and locks jaws onto mother baboon's leg. The young runs ashore, trembling with leg wound. Another baboon pulls it into the troop's center. It survives, but the price paid doesn't belong to it. Underwater, mother baboon still resists, but the pulling force increasingly tilts toward the predator. Bit by bit, she's drawn away from shallow water. On the bank, cries thin out, then cease completely. The baboon troop helplessly watches, unable to intervene. The outcome is decided and no second miracle occurs. On the water surface, the last ripples vanish. The water continues flowing, reflecting natural law that won't stop operating for losses. The baboon troop leaves the riverbank, quickly reestablishes formation, with the wounded young walking in the troop's center. Life continues despite carrying irreplaceable loss. The young is still too small. It doesn't fully understand what just happened, but survival instinct has deeply carved a life-and-death experience. In nature, victory sometimes is simply being alive. No heroes or villains, only existence continuing in life cycle. Below the river, the crocodile returns to familiar ambush position. It can fast for many weeks, but still patiently waits for prey. Persistence is its key survival weapon. Life by the water always exists in fragile balance, where action and waiting alternate, creating an endless cycle. In the distance, the baboon troop has found an area with food and gradually restores daily behaviors. But the formation is now missing one member. The young with leg wounds sits beside another female. It will grow up, will learn to survive, and someday will have to face this river once again. In the silence of the African plains, each species holds a role in nature's endless cycle. Life and death aren't opposites, but two parts of the same flow. Dawn over the Serengeti paints the plains golden to the horizon. Air seemingly quiet, but beneath, every creature has begun moving. Every creature here lives under one law: hunt or be hunted. But that boundary isn't fixed, always changing with each moment. This morning, in an acacia tree amid grassland, a small bird nest hides in high branches. Two chicks, days old, huddled together, waiting for mother. But when mother bird is absent, a gap immediately appears. Another creature silently climbs from tree base up in absolute silence. Black mamba, over 2.5 meters long, among Africa's fastest snakes. Extremely powerful venom, but now it doesn't need to use it. Chicks cannot run. It presses close to nest edge, head entering inside, preparing to attack. Panicked chick cries immediately ring out, tearing morning silence. That cry doesn't vanish into thin air. 50 meters away, a creature foraging immediately raises head. Mother secretary bird has heard her young. Secretary bird, over 1 meter tall, famous for snake hunting ability. Long stilt-like legs with hard talons create stomps with force 5 times body weight. It charges toward the acacia, long legs striding powerfully through grassland, wings beating hard, taking flight. It doesn't run but flies, reaching tree base in just seconds. It sees the snake right in the nest, head already in attack position. Mother bird doesn't hesitate, immediately lunging onto lower branches, closing in from above. Mamba withdraws head from nest, opens mouth threatening, revealing characteristic black mouth interior. But secretary bird doesn't back down. First stomp strikes down middle of snake body. Mamba writhes violently, coiling back, seeking chance to bite back. But mother bird withdraws leg faster. Mamba falls from branch, striking ground. Secretary bird lunges after, stomps several more times, confirming target motionless, then returns to check nest. In just minutes, the hunter became prey. Mamba fallen under Secretary bird's feet. Speed and venom don't always beat precision and experience. But the reversal chain on the plains hasn't stopped there. At Serengeti's edge, the river is where advantage can vanish after just one wrong step. A male lion advances to riverbank. Dark brown mane, rippling muscles, over 200 kilograms of pure strength, only coming to drink after a long night. It lowers head, muzzle touches a river surface, slowly drinking water. Eyes half closed, vigilance decreases, a rare state for the plains' apex. A few meters away, two pairs of eyes have already surfaced on water. Nile crocodile ambushed at bottom since early morning, waiting for prey to step into attack range. Water surface explodes. Crocodile lunges up, clamping tight on lion's muzzle, then pulling hard, underwater, where grassland king's advantage immediately vanishes. Lion roars, bites back at crocodile's mouth. Over 200 kilograms of muscle on land, resisting 500 kilograms pulling force underwater. Surrounding lions don't dare approach. Crocodile spins around. Death roll pulls lion's head underwater, when claws and large fangs nearly lose effect. But male lion isn't ordinary prey. It pulls crocodile to shallow water, front legs striking back at crocodile, beginning to find way to retreat onto shore. After over a minute of struggle, lion gets ashore, but crocodile still bites its tail. Lion jerks hard one last time, springs back onto shore. Only a bite clamping on empty air remains. Lion lies on shore, breathing heavily, muzzle torn. It stands turning back, walking away, understanding that every kingdom has borders. Underwater, crocodile silently sinks to bottom. Hunt failed, but that patient ambusher will still wait for next less fortunate prey. Male lion moves far from river. Brown mane long since dried, 200 kilograms still majestic. But blood scent spreading on a wind is signal opportunists won't miss. It stops amid grassland, lies down, licking wounds. Pain still present, but cleaning is mandatory because infection can kill slower than fangs and claws. Not far away, spotted hyena pack, humped shoulders, has scented lion blood spreading on wind. This is both rare prize and revenge opportunity. Spotted hyenas have top bite force among carnivores, enough to crush buffalo bones. One individual cannot face male lion, but entire pack is different. Hyena pack advances, forming encirclement. Laughing sounds ring out like coordination signals. Male lion raises head, recognizing it's surrounded. It stands roaring loudly, brown mane bristling, displaying authority. But pain remains, and hyena pack recognizes this is an injured individual. They advance further. A few lunge-biting hind legs, then retreat probing. Lion counterattacks, but bite misses due to pain. Hyena pack immediately recognizes that sluggishness. Others begin from behind, biting thighs and tail. Each time lion turns around, another direction gets attacked, making defense gradually collapse. Male lion resists fiercely. One swipe hurls hyena far away, but remaining ones continue tightening circle, taking turns biting, making it gradually exhausted. After minutes, lion slows, hind leg buckles slightly. Hyena pack recognizes advantage. Laughing sounds intensify. Attack rhythm faster. Ending approaching. Then another roar tears through space, deeper and stronger. Entire hyena pack immediately freezes, turns looking toward grassland. From afar, another male lion appears, larger and stronger, dark black mane. It charges straight into formation, breaking encirclement, forcing hyena pack to immediately reassess situation. Black-maned male lion swipes nearest hyena, making it tumble. Next strike tears shoulder of one biting injured lion. Hyena pack immediately breaks formation. Entire pack turns, retreating, no longer maintaining coordination. Injured one runs slower. In an instant, battle completely reverses. Two male lions stand close together. Injured one breathing heavily, bites overlapping. The other vigilantly surveys surroundings. Alliance helps them overcome all dangers. On the plains, size creates advantage, but alliance is the factor determining long-term survival ability. In Africa, crocodiles are lords underwater. But across the Atlantic, in South America's Pantanal wetlands, relationship between big cats and reptiles operates differently. In shallow water area, caiman crocodile sunbathes. After meal, head and back protruding, in state of lost vigilance, it exposes weakness at skull apex. Above water's edge, on low overhanging branch, jaguar is observing. This is big cat famous for hunting caiman, with skull-piercing bite from above. Weighing over 100 kilograms, jaguar possesses bite force superior to body size, enough to pierce turtle shell and caiman skull. It doesn't need speed, only one precise strike. Jaguar doesn't jump from branch, but slides down to water's edge, walking underwater in absolute silence, closing on caiman in just meters. At 1 meter remaining, it compresses entire body, hind legs pressing deep into mud. Caiman still motionless, completely unaware of danger right above skull. Jaguar bursts from water surface, lunging onto prey's back and sinking jaws straight into skull apex, piercing through bone into brain. Caiman jerks once, then motionless. In just seconds, everything ends. Jaguar holds jaws tight to confirm prey, then drags heavy carcass, wading back through shallow water to high shore. In Africa, Nile crocodiles dominate water surface, where even lions must avoid. In South America, caiman faces cat that doesn't fear water, can be brought down by one precise strike. Dusk descends on 2 continents. In Serengeti, 2 male lions lie close together under tree canopy. In Pantanal, jaguar vanishes into forest. Each carries its own story. In nature, every reversal begins with one small mistake: choosing wrong position, wrong timing, or wrong opponent. On the plains, there's no absolute ruler. Lions strong on land but weak underwater. Crocodiles dominate rivers but inferior on shore. Mamba fastest still loses to secretary bird. Hyenas strong jaws but lose to lion alliance. And that cycle never stops. Tomorrow morning, another individual will try its luck again. And just one small deviation is enough to create different outcome. Survivors continue moving. Secretary bird protects nest. Lions rest under canopy. Jaguar hides on high branch. Hyenas return to pack with still fresh wounds. Dusk gradually fades over Serengeti. Cricket sounds replace bird calls. Wind carries scent of wet grass. River shifts from orange to purple, yielding to night. Survivors prepare for darkness. Secretary bird guards young. Lions lie close together. Jaguar licks muzzle on high branch across the ocean. Wind gradually erases all traces. Ants clean bones. Water washes blood. Grass covers claw marks. When night falls, plains return to empty state. As last light leaves the Serengeti, plains whisper with thousand sounds of transition. In Africa or South America, the law unchanging. No absolute predator, only moments, positions, and mistakes enough to reverse everything. Sand surface temperature has exceeded 60 degrees. Air bent, turning everything distant into mirages flowing blurred on the horizon. Yellow scorpion seeks shade, nestling into rock crevice to avoid sun. Outside, under high-temperature rocks begin cracking from thermal expansion. Heat presses down on Sonoran like invisible weight. Owl hides in tree trunk, avoiding sun. Under thornbush, jackrabbit presses flat to ground, dilating blood vessels in ears to radiate heat. But beneath scorching sand layer, ground surface shifts slightly. Horned lizard emerges, dusting sand with transparent eyelids before stepping into heat level. All other species are avoiding. It possesses osteoderm armor layer, helping adapt to harsh heat. Red ants crawl across nose and head spikes, while its body not yet warm enough to react. Tongue flicks out extremely fast, rolling up each ant, then swallowing whole. On dessert, energy-conserving hunting strategy, more important than pursuit speed. Horned lizard walks, and at cholla bush edge, another movement appears. Small burrow entrance stirs. Two long whiskers poke out, sensing ground vibrations. Desert mouse stands motionless before burrow entrance, only ears continuously rotating, detecting sounds. After seconds of vigilance, it finally steps into dangerous open space. Long hind legs help it leap far and change direction instantly. It dashes between mesquite bushes, exposing itself on bare sand surface. It's searching for seeds, but never losing vigilance about surrounding environment. For desert rodents, danger typically comes from above. Above, two golden eagles glide on thermal currents, barely needing to flap wings. They've appeared since ground began absorbing heat. With vision 8 times human, plus talons creating grip force over 2,800 pounds per square inch. Golden eagle has locked tight on small brown dot between two bushes right when it left burrow. Eagle tilts wings, adjusting descent trajectory, calculating wind and prey's running direction. Wrong angle causes failure and wastes energy on desert. On ground, mouse detects round shadow advancing on sand. Immediately flees, changing direction, lunging toward a rock maze instead of running straight to familiar burrow. Eagle talons stab into sand where mouse just stood. It watches prey. Mouse continues running, carrying first trace, opening hunting signal. Mouse rushes into maze of stacked granite rocks, making eagle unable to approach. Shade reduces heat significantly, but this terrain is also shelter for other predator species. Rock rattlesnake has necrotic venom. Thanks to heat pit, it detects mouse through very small temperature difference before seeing and begins rattling tail. Mouse freezes. Ahead is snake. Behind is eagle. But instead of panicking, it calculates escape chance when snake strikes and misses, needing about 3 seconds to coil back. Opportunity will open. Mouse creates vibration, stimulating snake to strike first. When strike lunges forward, it leaps sideways, then passes through narrow gap in very short time. Right then, eagle lunges into rock gap following mouse direction. Large movement brings it into defense reflex range of agitated snake. Snake launches second strike. Fangs only graze eagle's chest feathers, forcing predator to spring back out, yielding rock maze to true owner. Mouse escapes maze from west side. It breathes heavily, legs beginning to feel heavy. Ahead is bare sand plain, but behind is pursuing eagle. Two eagles coordinate above. One forces direction, the other waits ready at strike angle, creating pincer position, leading mouse right into attack trajectory. Cactus branch makes it slip slightly, but it still struggles to keep running, driven into talon range, diving down from about 30 meters height. Just as the talons were about to make contact, the mouse spotted the hollow skull. Its hind legs kicked off, and it changed direction, diving straight in and vanishing as the talons snapped shut over the top of the cranium. The skull creates a natural shelter. The narrow eye sockets prevent the eagle's beak from reaching deep inside, while the bone layer keeps the temperature significantly lower than the open sand. Eagle perches on skull, continuously pecking into open gaps, but mouse still lies deep inside skull cavity. Tug of war between desert's strongest and hollow skull begins. 5 minutes. Sun scorches sand surface, but skull remains cool thanks to heat reflection and light convection. Meanwhile, eagle must continuously shift feet to force mouse to run out. After 10 minutes, one perched on cactus begins losing patience, scanning for other targets, while the other pecks one last time, but still powerless before skull. Finally, eagles fly away in turn, abandoning energy-draining hunt, leaving skull in desert midst with mouse still alive inside. Mouse pokes whiskers from eye socket, checking vibrations and shadows on sand, then crawls out, dusts sand from fur, and runs to nearest burrow. Escape ends. By reflexes faster than eagle talons, body twist making snake miss strike, and a hollow skull lying right where no one expected. Eagles have ascended high again, and eyes still scanning. From afar, they detect new movement racing fast among cactus bushes. Zebra-tailed lizard, running at 30 kilometers per hour speed, black-white stripes bobbing. Being pursued by collared lizard, specialist eating smaller kindred, chasing behind. Collared lizard, with large head and powerful jaw force, completely focused on prey ahead, not at all recognizing predator shadow marked on sand. Zebra-tailed lizard dives underground. Pursuer behind stops in open area. It halts observing but doesn't see prey anywhere. Above, eagle has locked target early, waiting for exact moment lizard stops in open ground to dive from most advantageous attack angle. Collared lizard hears wind whistle behind, but reacts slowly. Body too hot, after chase making legs lose half speed. 2 meters become unreachable distance. Eagle talons clamp tight around lizard body and lift it from sand surface. Amid open space, with no rock gaps or shelter, all escape chances vanish. Eagle carries prey flying to nest on large cactus tree, while zebra-tailed lizard silently stays under sand, surviving by being faster than what once hunted it. Eagle perches on cactus tree feeding its young. Lost small mouse but gained larger prey instead. Enough one meal for its offspring. Desert food chain continues operating. Seeds feed mouse, insects feed lizard, lizard feeds eagle. Then decomposing carcass returns nutrients to soil and plants. Horned lizard lies pressed on warm rock after eating enough ants. Bone armor layer protects body, while blood squirting ability helps drive away many predator species. In cool burrow, mouse is moving, thanks to extremely efficient water concentrating kidney system, helping it live almost without needing to drink water amid arid desert. Rattlesnake still coiled. Slow metabolism helps it fast many days. Waiting for temperature to drop, then begins night hunting with heat pit. Dusk touches Sonoran. Sunlight gradually shifts to orange-red, while desert rocks begin radiating heat, absorbed throughout the long day. Desert changes shifts. Horned lizard prepares to bury itself in sand. Eagle stops hunting. Scorpion leaves rock crevice, and mouse pokes whiskers out burrow entrance again. Now is safest time. Rattlesnake crawls from maze, continuously flicking tongue and scanning heat. Where once was daytime shelter, now becomes nighttime hunting ground. Sonoran Desert spans over 300,000 square kilometers. With extreme temperature range, creatures here must adapt to daytime heat or nighttime cold to survive. Each species carries unique survival strategy, but all adaptations have limits. No one is perfect, only the most suitable. The Sahara sand surface reaches over 60 degrees at midday. No creature dares venture out, except for tiny silver specks darting about on nimble legs. Those are silver ants, appearing only when the desert is at its most brutal. When every predator has retreated beneath the sand, they begin their brief race against time. Within just a few minutes, they sweep up every insect carcass on the surface, then vanish back into the earth. The desert surface is bare under the sun again, not a movement. But the Sahara is not dead. Beneath that scorched sand, countless eyes are still waiting for the temperature to drop before stepping out to hunt. Under a dune, inside a burrow far cooler than the surface, a creature waits for the heat to recede. At the burrow entrance, two pointed tips rise just above the sea of sand. The smallest fox in the world, the fennec carries the largest ears of any canine, catching the faintest sounds while helping the body shed heat. When the afternoon sun softens, it slowly opens its eyes. The ears turn slowly, listening for any movement, while the nose continuously tests the wind for news carried from far away. Finding the area around the burrow still quiet, it steps outside. The thick fur beneath its paws insulates the body from the residual heat still rising from the ground. The fox moves along the slope of a dune in the cooling afternoon light. Both ears keep shifting direction, filtering for faint sounds rising from beneath the sand. Suddenly, it stops. Both ears point to the same spot ahead, where a scorpion is digging through the shallow sand below. The fox lunges, drives its muzzle into the sand, and digs it up. Seconds later, the scorpion is flung out. One bite behind the tail neutralizes the stinger. Then the jaws crunch through the hard shell. But one tiny scorpion barely touches a hungry belly. It moves along the base of a dune, searching for the next meal as dusk settles in. 10 minutes later, a mole cricket and a beetle are pulled from the sand. The dunes that lay silent all through the midday heat are now quietly alive with signs of life. The fox pauses on a sand mound, drawing in the passing wind. Then it stiffens, carried on. The breeze is a scent both familiar and alarming. About 300 meters away, a gray shape is moving steadily along a dune ridge. It is a striped hyena, one of the Sahara's most well-known opportunistic scavengers. Not as fast as the spotted hyena, but carrying an exceptionally sensitive nose. And right now, that nose has just caught the scent of the small fox. Now it is a contest of two senses across the desert wind. One listening for footsteps, the other tracking by scent. And both know the other is closing in. Instead of fleeing, the fox chooses to hide right in front of its enemy. It presses its body as flat as it can, ears pinned back, its sand-colored coat quickly dissolving into the desert surface. The hyena follows the scent trail. The distance keeps narrowing, but ahead there is nothing but sand and more sand. The nose says the prey is right here. The eyes see nothing. The hyena is now just 50 meters away. Then a scorpion crawls past right against the fox's muzzle. The unexpected contact makes it flinch. Both ears lift off the sand surface. That alone is enough to break the camouflage. The hyena snaps its head around. What its nose had been tracking has just appeared right before its eyes. The footsteps immediately quicken. The fox springs upright and bolts down the slope of the dune, its small, light body moving as though skimming across the surface. Behind it, the hyena gives chase. Heavier, each stride sinking deeper with every step. The pursuit stretches across one dune slope after another. The fox keeps changing direction. Its compact body makes each turn easy, while the hyena has to recover its momentum after every swerve. The gap gradually widens. The desert does not favor the larger or the stronger. It favors whoever is best adapted to the sand underfoot. But the hyena does not give up. Hunger makes it more stubborn than usual. A fox, however small, is a meal worth expending effort for on the sand. By the third minute, the fox's breathing is coming in rapid bursts. The small body is heating up, every breath carrying away a little more of its precious limited moisture. Worse, across the open sandfield, there is nowhere dense enough to hide. The fox has no choice but to keep running, while the hyena presses closer with every stride, each lunge just about to close on it. And the direction changes have slowed. The distance shrinks with every beat. For the first time, the hyena sees the prey within reach. Just as the pursuit is about to be decided, an enormous shadow suddenly sweeps across the sand, and a third hunter has entered the game. The newcomer is the pharaoh eagle owl, the largest owl in North Africa. A wingspan of more than 1 meter, soft-edged feathers cutting through the air without a sound. Those enormous amber eyes take in every movement below. To the owl, both fox and hyena are prey, and it has already locked on to the smaller target. The owl dives, talons driving straight toward the small back. But the fox's ears catch the faintest sound of displaced air. It dodges sideways just before the talons make contact. Missing the fox, those sharp talons seize the hyena driving just behind. The hyena shudders and cries out in pain. And in the chaos, the fox has already broken away. But the hyena is not shaken. Ignoring the owl above, it pours every remaining ounce of effort into one target, each frantic stride eating up the distance. This time, the fox cannot dodge in time. The jaws lunge forward and clamp into the hind body. The fox cries out, struggling desperately, but the grip only tightens. At that exact moment of life and death, a shadow crashes down from above again. The owl driving in to contest the catch. The hyena recoils in alarm, its jaws involuntarily loosening for an instant. The fox seizes that moment, tears itself free, and drives down the dune slope, rolling onto the sand. Reaching the base of the dune, it trembles into the shelter of a sand mound and goes completely still. Above, the hyena is still searching, but the pursuit has cost too much. After a few futile sniffs at the wind, it finally turns and leaves with nothing. The fox stays motionless, not daring to stir, until its ears can no longer pick up a single footfall. Only then does it slowly raise its head, eyes darting across the sand in every direction. The fox steps out of hiding, exhausted and parched. It stands on the sand, draws in the wind, senses quiet in every direction. The hyena has gone, but the sky has not. Because the pharaoh eagle owl does not give up as easily as the hyena. It has been perched on a rock outcrop nearby, amber eyes locked onto the fox's hiding spot, waiting for exactly this moment. Now there is no more hyena, no more chaotic pursuit to take advantage of. Only the solitary fox and a hunter silently descending from behind. The fox's ears still catch the warning, but this time, the exhausted body has betrayed it. Before it can dodge, the talons have already locked down onto the small back. The owl beats its wings and rises, carrying its prey in its talons. The hyena trudges away with an empty belly, and the fox remains in the sand forever. When everything settles, the desert cools and the earth stirs quietly. From beneath the layers of sand, small creatures emerge one by one, resuming the familiar rhythm of life. In this place, there is no absolute victory. The hyena spent itself and came away with nothing. The fox escaped one threat only to fall to another. And the final share always belongs to the one that knows how to wait. Tomorrow morning, when the first ray of light touches the sand, another fox will push its ears above the burrow entrance. It too will dart out, hunt for food, and begin the same cycle of hunting in a new day. That is the largest desert on the planet, where life has never been something to take for granted. Here, surviving one more day is already a victory.